Hey, good evening. Good evening, uh, good evening, Tao Transmitting Masters and dear friends from India. And I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude for the grace of heaven, the virtue of our holy teachers, to our Grand Senior Elder Bai Shui Sendi and Senior Elder Bu Shouxi, Buddhist, never resting Bodhisattva. And thank you, Master, my dear Tao brothers and sisters, to give me this opportunity to make this sharing. Tonight, I will introduce a holy revelation called Purification of the Tao Community, which is preached by Never Resting Bodhisattva at Guanghui Temple in 2018. The holy revelation is divided into 6 parts, and this revelation is a bit long, but we will quickly go over the revelation and explore the meaning of each part. Okay, part 1. Purify your heart and tranquilize your mind to focus on the singularity of the truth. Your true self is rediscovered upon receiving Tao. Transform the world by guiding people to return to the origin and leave behind a utopia redolent of virtue. Awaken the sentient beings with Tao. Disseminate and preserve loyalty, filial piety, benevolence, and righteousness. Treasure your inherent true nature prudently. Practice, preach, propagate, and learn Tao in all earnestness. Okay, we can see in this Chinese revelation, the first word of each verse can be united into the title 净化道场, purification of the community. And this is the wisdom of Never-Resting Bodhisattva. But that's not the point. What I'm going to say is, after we work for the entire day, our physical body tells you that you need a rest, you need a deep break, and don't want to do anything or go to the temple. But the first verse told us that our true self is rediscovered upon receiving Tao, and we need to keep in mind that our physical body should never cover the voice of our true nature. For example, when I feel very tired and want to go home instead of going to the temple, I will remind myself of what Never Resting Buddha ever said. Somebody asked our Never Resting Bodhisattva, "Why do you never take a rest?" And she said, "There's always a fake me and true me. The fake me wants to take a rest, but the true me wants to go further. So I keep going and never rest. This is my key to success." And this is what I told myself when I don't want to go to temple. And we can see the third verse. It told us what Tao is and the way we should propagate Tao. When we introduce Tao to our friends and families, we don't just exaggerate how good Tao is. Instead, we should change ourselves and show the righteousness induced by Tao. Playing with words is not the best way to propagate Tao, but the integrity and righteousness inside of ourselves. When we look at our Tao transmitting masters, we just don't see an old man, but a man with righteousness and benevolence. So Tao can change our heart and also what we look like, our appearance. Okay, part 2. Purify the grand Tao community. The ultimate truths can be promulgated. Dignify yourself all the time. Never pretended in thoughts. Never set out to hurt others. Others' gratification results from the sincere intention originated from one's true nature. Commit no improprieties. Treat everyone with fairness. Trust not in rumors. Peddle no gossip. Let truth always be on your lips, with words conveying the Tao heart. Tao members should motivate one another and widely forge a deep relationship with all. Although where there are people, there is discord. Each person's actions should be gauged by oneself. As we can see from the part 2, it told us that in the temple, for example, in the temple, it is unavoidable that we gossip about somebody and their affairs. However, people will somehow exaggerate the truth and twist what people said, which results in some misunderstanding and mistakes. Therefore, we should be mindful of our mouth for gossiping. Just like the verse mentioned, we should let the truth always speak our lips to convey the Tao. Our mouths are born to assist heaven to propagate Tao, not gossiping. So our language is very important. In our mind is also okay. Part three: wealth cannot compare to righteousness, and power cannot compare to virtues. Tao energy permeates the Tao community, infused with the atmosphere of righteousness. Realize that the illustrious virtue is the essence, and Tao community is a pure land. The three sections work harmoniously together, nurturing talent and cultivating people. Purify the grand Tao community, be respectful, temperate, accommodating, benevolent, and genial. Purify the grand Tao community, let any season flourish like springtime. In the purified Tao community, studying Holy Revelation is essential. Do sincerely and earnestly cultivate your inner virtues. You are very blessed to receive the great Tao at its time, so truly and reverentially set your goals. Our never resting Bodhisattva is the greatest Tao cultivator, and she never forgets to nurture every Houxue by establishing college section and three sections. And I believe it is more blessed to give than to receive. Tao cultivation is our daily life, and you will harvest more if you try to enlighten other people. Why? During the process of nurturing your juniors, you will have a better understanding of what you are short of. As you become more experienced in helping juniors and cultivating juniors, you will also become better and better. Also, the importance of nurturing juniors is passing the torch of Tao to the next generation. What I'm thinking about is what our Master Zen always say. He said, if a torch of Tao falls on my hand, I would be the sinner for 1,000 centuries. Therefore, nurturing juniors is not just a master's or never-resting bodhisattva's job. It is our collective goal and our must-do list during the path of cultivation. That part 4: sincerely embrace your pure heart, purify your inner being, and get rid of all defilements. Realize your true self to know the application of the great Tao, so each action of everyday life originates from the root. Eliminate resentment and restore your true self. Hence, you can truly cultivate Tao and help with the last salvation. Comprehend the truth as such. You henceforth recover your origin and cease all ignorant pursuits. Contemplate the true virtues from within. That is true cultivation of virtue and sincerity. Should you give up halfway, how can the true enlightenment be attained? Forget not the vows you have made. Honor is derived only with steadfast loyalty and utmost righteousness. If you act cowardly and contrary to what you profess overtly, difficult it would be for Tao to be disseminated extensively. It says, don't forget our vows to the heaven, and we were all originated from our soul of mother, Lao Mu, and we are here with the destiny which is to help her to propagate Tao to the world, so that everyone can receive and cultivate Tao. And also our masters is also a good example because they keep their vows to propagate Tao in the world. And recently, our Master Peng and Mr. Huang just went to Nepal and India to fulfill their vows. In fact, it gets harder for them to propagate Tao as they grow older but their age didn't stop them from loving people in India and Nepal. And such spirit is what we should emulate, and they emulate their spirits from our dearest, never-resting Bodhisattva. Okay, part 5. As clearly as heaven itself sees, so should you ever be watchful. Lead not others astray in the cultivation of the great Tao. It is but human beings themselves aid or hinder Tao. So think whether you have caused the failure of others in Tao propagation. It should be your goal to truly apply Tao in practice, so that you have nothing to be ashamed of under observation by heaven and man. By the grace of heaven and humanity, your efforts in Tao cultivation will be rewarded. Do not treat everyone with rudeness at first, but subsequently with respect because changes in status. Treat everyone fairly with the true Tao. This being the time when the end is near, all should pool together as one. Seize the opportunity of the last salvation and do not miss out on Tao. Purify the Tao community and purify the mind. Otherwise, how can the true transmission stay? After reading part 5, and I would like to reflect on the first verse. Second verse. Is human being themselves? The first verse. My fault. Is human beings themselves who aid or hinder Tao? I have very deep feeling for it because when I was a sophomore and a member of Chongda Voluntary Club, I did not recognize their vegetarianism and religion in Tao. So I argued with my seniors that I didn't want to have vegetarian meals in every activity of this club because I feel I was forced to adopt their ideas, and it makes me feel very uncomfortable. And one day, my friend told me that one of my seniors knew what I expressed in a meeting, and she criticized me and said, "Oh, maybe we should kid him out. He's just nothing. We don't need a club member who doesn't share the same value of our club." After I found out, I was very angry and pissed off. I stepped almost 1 year to participate on the voluntary club, but meanwhile, I was still entitled as the activity officer of this club. I chose to be absent from this club and not fulfilling my responsibility as the activity officer to express my anger. And it lasted almost 1 year, and my seniors still invited me to join their end of year party. When I watch their pictures for what they have done for the entire year without me, I feel very regretful and sorry for being an irresponsible bastard. I always promised them to finish my jobs as an activity officer, and I failed them again and again. So if I don't do my job, somebody will have to do it for me. I would really appreciate my club president and vice president for covering my jobs during that time. And therefore, I decided to come back to repay their grace, even though they don't show up in the Dao community anymore. That's very pity, but we have to move on, you know. And just like our Qigong Living Buddha once said, if somebody did something to you that drives you to quit Tao cultivation, you are the one who should be responsible, not that somebody, because it is you who decided to quit Tao cultivation. So, from that point of view, we should be aware of our languages and don't hurt anybody. Language not only can save people's wisdom and Buddha nature, but also can ruin somebody's true self. So we should be very careful about our language. And part 6, commit no wrong by being mindful and tranquil. Be earnest in dealing with people and affairs. And salvation begins with talking to others. Lend a helping hand when seeing others in difficulty. A virtuous person is behind none in doing good. Start from the basics in practicing according to Tao. Everything is based on the roots and stems from the source. Juniors should follow assiduously the example set by their seniors. People admire those who maintain self-control so as to protect themselves from immorality. Glorify the heritage of wisdom while working together. Join hands and support the last salvation with one mind. So we were all that like I have mentioned, we were all originated from the mother of soul, Lao Munyang, and it's just like our everything bothering us. It all comes from the same thing, which is our desires and bad habits. We need to fix all the bad habits and make ourselves better and better. And practicing Tao is the easiest way and fastest way to improve ourselves. So here comes to my conclusion. It's just three sentences. We should always purify ourselves by the cultivation of Tao. That's the first point. And the second point is nurturing juniors not only helps others, but also yourself, because you will harvest more when you are exploring yourself by helping others. Okay, third, language can bring people wisdom and ruin the Buddhahood of people. Therefore, we should be very careful about what we say because our language decides what we are and who we are. And this is very important. So, all right, that's all for my tonight sharing. For all the mistakes I've made, I beg Buddha's and God's mercy and forgiveness. Master, my dear Dao friends, please kindly give any comment and suggestions. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's say thank you for Alvin's wonderful sharing here today. Alvin interpreted this revelation by using practical examples in his daily life to make us better understand what is Tao and how to cultivate Tao step by step and how we should pay attention to in this revelation. So let's say thank you again. This holy revelation indicates that as a Tao cultivator, we should always improve ourselves step by step through the process of Tao cultivation. And Qianren, or non-resting Bodhisattva, mercifully show us how to cultivate ourselves in this revelation. We should be always earnestly cultivate our inner virtue and continue to polish ourselves together. Here, Chandra mercifully tells us the tips about how to achieve the Buddhahood. Chandra mercifully shows us the importance of purification of Tao community and that we should sincerely cultivate and propagate Tao by eliminating our resentment and restoring our true nature. In this way, we are able to achieve Buddhahood in the end. So my brother, sisters, think about it. Tao energy permeates the Tao community, and I believe that it's a kind of symbol that we are blessed by God. So we really need this kind of positive energy in our life, for it's going to help us step by step on the right way during the process of Tao cultivation. So that's why Qianren, in each of her holy revelation, encourages us to continue our Tao cultivation. We need this kind of positive energy to continue to do it. Okay, so let's say thank you to our brother Alvin again. So now I'm going to pass the microphone